Okay, today almost 76 students have joined. Okay, today we are going to start our session. Today's topic, yesterday we have learned about framing, how to, if it is a large message, how to divide that message into parts, and how to we are transferring that particular dot frames to the other end. What are the techniques we have used yesterday? Bit stuffing, byte stuffing, and character stuffing we have used. What are the responsibility and what are the issues in that particular thing we have seen in that particular thing. That is, the framing is a small thing that we do not have to do much more on that particular thing. Whenever I'm sending any message from source to destination, there is a small thing for controlling of that particular thing where I am doing. I'm dividing my large message into small messages. I'm utilizing some techniques to transfer the data. Now onwards, we are going to learn, if something happened, if data is modified, how to correct them, how to detect them. And these are the very you have lots of protocols in this data link layer for error correction, error detection, and flow control, all the things, and media access control also. Physical addressing also, we have some protocols. Yesterday we have seen total framing techniques. Now today we are going to see what is error, types of errors, redundancy, what is redundancy, detection versus correction, forward error, correction versus retransmission. There are something um called as error. Whenever I'm saying an error, I am sending a data item that is 1001. That is nothing but every data, whatever the data you are transmitting from source to destination, it will go zeros and ones only. For example, I am taking the data 1001. If the data goes to that receiver end properly 1001, then only I'm saying that I am able to send my data through this link or this channel accurately. Okay, if the receiver finds that he is getting more data or less data or modified data, in that case I'm thinking that my channel is not safe, it is erroneous. Okay, it is erroneous. What is an error? A small bit change also in particular thing. Data can be corrupted during the transmission. Okay, whenever I am transferring the data from one source to destination, there may be a chance of having corruption. Okay, and your sender and receiver, they are very clear to have accurate data to send and accurate data to receive. Okay, your application, most of times some of the application, they won't concentrate on these particular small errors. But in case of, for example, I will tell you. First of all, if I am sending a message, my hall ticket number is 17BD 1A0402. This is one message, and another application is sending me a small video which contains DCN class. Okay, first application is sending my hall ticket number 17BD1A0402 is my hall ticket number. In the second application, I am sending a small video which works, which is explaining error detection or error correction. In this case, my first application must be accurate. My first application must be accurate, otherwise it won't allow you to send. Otherwise, what will happen? If I am sending 17BD1A0402, it is going to send 0408 or some other number it is going to send. So it must be accurate. Without accuracy, we are not going to allow data transmission or text transmission. In case of small video, if I am sending 720 Mbps or very HD quality, that thing, because of my channel transmission, it has compressed that particular thing and it has forwarded to that. In meanwhile, there are some pixel has removed from that particular pixels, also considered as zeros ones only in my data communication. So this will be tolerated, but in case of data, whenever I'm forwarding the text, even one single bit change also not tolerable. Why? If I change 10012 to 01010, in that case it will modify into another number. Simply it will convert it to another character. It is not going to do anything. But in case of video, that will be some negotiable. I need not to worry about that error correction and detection. Okay, my network and my channel must be transfer the data from one device to another device with acceptable accuracy. In case of text, I need 100%, at least 99.9% accuracy in case of text. But in case of videos, I just I can take some light thing. Okay, not a problem for me. What will happen? Some bits will come, some latency. My voice will come a little bit slow. That would be very negligible, not a big deal for video transmission. Okay, that is the acceptable accuracy. Every network, any network in the computer world, no one can say this is the 100% accurate and 100% it won't fail. No one can say that the particular thing in my computer network world or computer networks or computer world. Okay, in the digital world we cannot say it is, I cannot, no one can guarantee of 100%. Okay, system, but in case of this text transmission, system must guarantee the data received are identical to the data transmission. That means whatever the data, whenever I'm sending from my WhatsApp application to WhatsApp application, other my friends WhatsApp application, it must guarantee at least 90.95% at least some accurate data should be, identical data should be transmitted from this application to that application. Yes or no? And when I am transferring the text, okay, the identical text must be transmitted over the network. Okay, anytime the data are transmitted from one node to next node, they can become corrupted in passage. Many factors that alter the, there are so many factors. What are the factors? uh, Power glitches. That means every my data is transferred through voltage only. Whenever I'm saying high voltage, it is 1. It is, if it is low voltage, in that case it is 0. Okay, low voltage, high voltage it is 1, low voltage 0. When I am transferring that particular thing, there may be a chance of having some technical glitch or that particular thing. There are so many factors for that particular thing to data, erroneous data to be transferred, or errors would be occur in that particular thing. How to detect, how we are going to see in this chapter. Okay, today we are going to see in this we are going to see what are the types of errors. What, how many types of errors we have? We have two types of error. Two types of error. First one is single bit error. Single bit error. That means if I am transferring the whole entire word, data word, if even if one bit has changed from source to destination, in that case I will call it as single bit error. Single bit error. In case of the data is transferred more than one data is changed more than one bit, either 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, whatever it may, in that case I will call it as burst error. Now more than one error, more than one bit change, more than one bit change, I am going to say call it as burst error. Okay, in my in data communication, single bit error is also gives the same thing. I am not going to get the proper message at the accurate message at the send receiver. In case of burst error also, I am not going to get the accurate message at the receiver end. Both are the common same for computer network world or computer data communication world. It is not the, if it is a single bit error, I can neglect that. Is not that like that. We have to follow both the things, that both are the same for computer data communication and computer networks. Okay, types of error: single bit error, burst error. Single bit error means only one bit has changed from sender to receiver. Okay, burst error, more than one bit, either 2, 4, 8, whatever number that are corrupted bits are more than one. In that case, we are going to call it as burst error. Redundancy. Here, redundancy and parity bit. Parity bit. You remember this thing: redundancy or redundant bit or parity bits. Okay. To detect or correct errors, we need to send extra bits with data. Whenever I'm sending some information, I need to have to add some more extra bits to my data, so that at the receiver end I can identify that this I got the proper information at the receiver end. To check whether the whether I am getting exact information or not, I am going to add the extra bits to my data. That is called as redundant bit or parity bits. Okay, remember that thing: redundant bits or parity bits I am going to add to my information, so that at the receiver end he will understand that okay, these are the redundant bits, and these are the, according to that structure he is going to understand. That we are going to discuss in the next slides about these redundants, what is parity, how you are going to correct, and how you are going to detect the errors in your actual data. Okay, detection and correction. Error detection is the one thing, error correction is the one thing. Okay, error detection is used to find any errors occurred in your data. That means whenever I am sending 10012 to receiver end, I want to find, is there any error or there. If I find that particular thing, if it is the erroneous message only, then only I will expect sender to resend my message, or I am going to correct my errors. Otherwise, if I am thinking that I am not going to detect, if I am not detecting any errors in my data, in that case I will think that it is my data, whatever the data received to me is the proper data. I'm not going to I am directly utilizing that particular data in my daily life. So there may be, first there must be a detection technique must be there inside while you are receiving any data. Detection, first of all you have to find out the error. Is there any errors are there in this particular data? You have to find out. We are not interested in the number of errors, as I told you just now. We are not interested in number of errors. In the detection technique, we are, if the only one single bit error also same as the burst error, that means if I have 5 bits change, in that case also the same thing I am going to considering this particular frame is error frame. I cannot utilize this error frame in my text simply thing. Okay, I'm not interested in number of errors. I'm interested whether that particular frame is proper or not, that is identical message or not, identical frame or not, which the sender sends me. Okay, correction. Here we need to know the exact number of bits that corrupted and their locations in the message. In case of detection, I need not to worry about only exact messages or identical messages are not, is not received or not, that I have to check. But in case of error correction, in error correction, I need to know the exact how many bits have modified, how many bits had corrupted in my message, actual message, and what are the location, what are the location of that particular message. Otherwise, I cannot guess, or I cannot modify, I cannot correct my message, and I am not going to get the proper message at the receiver end. Okay, number of errors and size of the message are important. In the correction, in detection, I need not to have any issues if it is one number single bit error or burst error. But in case of error correction, I need to have number of errors and the size of that particular messages are important. Okay, if we need to correct one single error in the 8-bit data unit, we need to consider 8 possible locations. If I find that if I have a 4-bit or 8-bit data is there 1000001, in that case, if I am thinking that one bit single bit error is there in that particular thing, in that case I have to guess the 8 possible location. Either it is in the first location, 0 to 7th location, 0 to 7th in the array, you have 7 location. I can modify that particular 0 to 7th location. There may be a chance of modifying that particular single bit. If we need to correct 2 errors in the data of unit size, same size, we need to consider 28 possibilities. We have to find the 28 possibilities. That 2 bits are adjacent bits, are the last bits, are this side bits, that side bits, like that. I have to consider 28 possibilities of error corrections in error correction mechanism, so that only I can find the exact or accurate message at the receiver end. Okay, is it clear now, ma? Right till now, if you have any issues, please let me know. Please give me a chart. If I will activate your mic also if you want, not a problem. Is it clear now? Yes, sir. Good. This is a in this, after error detection correction, forward error correction, retransmission. Forward error correction, error correction means in this process which receiver tries to gets. That means I got a message 1001 at the receiver end. I am thinking that there was some one single bit error in that particular thing. Okay, every time, most of the times, I'm expecting that I need to get the hall ticket number of that particular person. Okay, what happened? I need to get 17 BD 1A0402. I know the what is the process, all the things. In this place, in forward error correction, I am going to guess if the person has modified some technical glitches, that particular 17BD1A04, give me an example, I will show. Okay, 17BD1A0402. Okay, I need to get this particular message, but I got 17 AD 1A 050402. What happens in this particular thing? I'm going to guess. Okay, every time I used to know, I'm going to get the message from KMIT college. So this must be not the AD. This must be DD. I'm going to guess this particular error. I'm going to get the guess this particular IP my hall ticket number. I'm going to correct that error in my process. Okay, error correction, forward error correction. I'm not using anything. I'm using redundant bits, that is parity bits of your message to correct that particular data. Okay, I'm going to guess that particular data and I'm going to use that particular data into my service. This is the possible only when the number of errors is small. This forward error correction is forward error correction we are going to use if the message message and the error number of errors in that my message are small in size. If it is thousands of bits, in that case I am not going to guess that particular thing. It won't be helpful for me for forward error correction. Okay, next, retransmission. Whenever I found that I got a erroneous message, I will just send an acknowledgement to my sender. Please resend, I did not receive the proper message, I received the erroneous message, please resend the message. Okay, In this case, the sender again transmit the frames to the receiver. Simply retransmission of your errors, transmission of your information. Here I am not going to check, only I am going to check the error is there or not. Okay, error detection is I am going to do. I am not going to correction. I am not going to make any modification or a correction mechanism in retransmission. Just whenever I found that there is an error, I will ask the receiver to ask the sender to resend my message to me. Okay, we are going with next level. Okay, coding and decoding. Whenever I'm saying I have to, whenever I want to find the detect the errors, I need to have some parity bits at some places. For example, I will show you. I will use a mechanism for this adding. I will use a encoder as every after one letter I'm going to add 0. After one letter I'm going to add 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This is my encoding technique at sender end. Okay, here I am adding coding nothing but I am going to add some parity bits or redundant bits to with the help of a process. I am using here, for example, I am adding 0 after every character of my message. I am going to add after every character I am going to add the 0 to my message. Okay, at the receiver end, what he will do, he just checks that particular thing. Did I get any message like this? He is going to remove my zeros. If he is finding that without having 0 after one letter, if he is finding that if he is getting without having 0 between the two characters, in that case I'm going to find that this is the erroneous message. It is not the exact message whatever that ABC person has sent to me. Okay, if I get like this, in that case I am going to find, okay, after one there is no 0, so it is not the proper message. I'm not going to accept this. Either I am going to ask the sender to resend, or I will try to guess that particular. That is the receiver's problem, not the mine. Okay, first of all, this is in this coding and decoding. First of all, I will have a message generator. Generator is nothing but your mechanism, like you are adding the zeros after each letter of my message. That is my generator. Generator will generate the message with redundant bits. Okay, you got a proper encrypted message and redundancy with in yellow color you see message with message and redundancy. Redundancy means you are going to add some extra bits to my actual code, actual message. I will transfer the same thing, message and redundant message, to unreliable transmission to the receiver. Again, receiver, what he will do, he will check that particular process, and he know the checking process before itself, so he will remove all the zeros. If he, while removing all the zeros, if he find any issues, he will ask for retransmission. Otherwise, if it is correct, if it is the correct only, then he will directly deliver that message to your application, either your Google or Skype application or WhatsApp application to the end. If it is not correct in the while checking that particular message, is not finding zeros after each and every character of your message, in that case he will directly throw that message into dustbin and he will send. That is a different mechanism for that particular thing. He directly throws that message into dustbin. simply. Okay, this is the coding and decoding process in your error correction and detection. Okay, till now, do you have any issues? If you have any doubts, please let me know. Coding and decoding error, single bit error, parity bits, what is parity, and we have learned. And coding, decoding, also we have transmission, retransmission, error guessing, these kind of things we have learned in this particular thing. Error detection and error correction also we have seen. Forward and retransmission, coding and decoding, we have seen all these things. Okay, right now we are going to start with a coding technique. Coding technique means generator. Here we are seeing the message generator. Na? In generator, we are going to add this algorithm to generate redundant, generate encrypted message or message with redundancy. Okay. The first thing, block coding is a technique. Block coding is a technique. We divide our message into blocks, each of k bits, each of k bits. First of all, I am talking a algorithm called as black coding, block coding. Block itself, it is saying that I am going to divide my data message. I am going to divide my message into small blocks, each block of k bits. Okay, which are called it as data words. Okay, data words, that means k bits. Each blue color block is called as data word. Okay, data word. After that, after k bits, I have divided the every k bits words into data words. I am going to add r redundant bits to the each block, or are redundant means parity bit. Okay, if I am taking, for example, I am going to take 3 bits as a k bit. K is equal to 3 bits. I am going to r equal to 1. Okay, 1. That means I am going to get n as the 4 bits. Okay, resultant n bit blocks are called as code words. Okay, first I took a lengthy message. I have divided that lengthy message into k multiple blocks. Okay, each of particular size, that is k bit size I am going to take. Okay, for each k bits I am going to add some redundant bits, either it is 1 or 2, according to your convenient you can add. Okay, the resultant is n bits, that is code words. I am going to get the code words. With k bits we can create combination of, with k bits I can create the combinations of 2 to the power of k data words. That means I will show you. First of all, I am taking 3 bits. Okay, k equal to 3. Okay, how many combinations I can do? 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 3. How? 1 0 0 0 0 0 1, enter, 0 1 0. Like this I can generate 2 to the power of 3 combinations for this particular code data word. Okay, with n bits I can create, we can create a combination of 2 to the power of n data words. 2 to the power of n. First of all, 2 to the power of 3, that means 8 data words. Okay, n bits means I am going to add 3 plus 1, r equal to 1. I am taking r equal to 1. In this case I am going to find 2 to the power of 4 data words, code words. I'm going to get 2 to the power of n code words. That means, first of all, I got 8 data words. In the next, after adding one priority bit for each data word, I'm going to get 2 to the power of n, that is 2 to the power of 4, that is 16 code words in my block coding. Okay. Now, next what I will do, since n is greater than k, code words are always greater than data words. Why? The bits are changed from 3 to 4. The same data words is always encoded as the same code word. That means whenever I am taking 001, if I want to take the 001 as the data word 001, every time I will consider is as 00 000 or 0010. I will every time I will consider this as 0010 only. Okay, every time if I want to send 000, I will add the parity bit last but one position I am considering as the 0010. I am going to send every time. That he also knows, the receiver also knows that about that particular thing. In this, we have 2 to the power of n minus 2 to the power of code words that are unused, not used. Why? I am every time I am fixed my code word, I am fixing my code word and my data according to my data word. If my data words are 8, I am just adding the one bit at the end of that that particular information. So we have unused code words 2 to the power of n minus 2 to the power of k. Unused code words are we have used. Okay, for example, k is equal to 4, n is equal to 5. Okay, k is equal to 4, that means only I am using one parity bit, r equal to 1. Okay, k is equal to 4, n is equal to 5. In that case, 16 out of 32 code bits are not used to transmit the data. Okay, I'm going to use only 60 data words that are the useful for that particular thing. If I am sending 32 bits also, he is going to easily is going to identify that particular thing. In this, 16 data words are correct, others code words are not proper. Okay, he's going to understand that particular thing. Error detection, how we are going to identify whether the particular message or the data word code word is erroneous or not. In this error detection technique, first k bit generator, his generator generates n bits. Okay, code word, he has created a code word and he will transmit to unreliable transmission to the receiver send. The code bit again checker, it will go through checker. If it is actual message, then only it is going to extracted and it is converted into data word. Otherwise, directly simply I will throw that particular code word into dustbin. Okay, in the detection, the receiver can detect a change in the original word. The receiver has a list of valid code words, whatever I have. Every time I am thinking that whenever I am sending 00010, okay, if the particular person has modified this particular thing to 1010, in this case actually I know that I should get this particular message as the information. I should not get this message. Why? I already have the all the number of code words, useful code words in my hand at the receiver end. So I will discard the message. It is not proper thing. If I receive the same thing, that means 10010, in that case I am going to use this particular thing. I'm utilizing that particular message and I will convert to actual data word. Okay, if the original code word has changed to an invalid one. Okay, if I got the any code word, modified code word at the receiver end. In that case, I am going to invalidate. I will discard simply and will throw it in the dustbin. Now, coming to the error correction. In the error correction, the receiver needs to find or guess the original keyword. That means, okay, whenever I'm finding any messages, I will show you. I'm going to, I have k bits for 3 bit. After that, I am adding the parity bit with the help of generator at the receiver. At the receiver end, he has to guess the original code word with the help of that corrupted code word. Okay, in the correction, in the block code technology, we have the only the thing is I am going to guess the original code word with the help of whatever the he has sent. Okay, with the help of my already having that particular thing. Okay, now here we have an example. Okay, I have a 3-bit information bits. Okay, I'm taking 3 bits of information. Here 4 is the N, 3 is the K, and parity bit. Parity bit is nothing but redundant bit. That is, I'm going to take it as 1. That means K is equal to 3, N is equal to 4, R is equal to 1. Okay, here whenever I'm K equal to 3, I am the possible, all the possible messages are 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1. I am repeatedly I am taking the dot. First of all, I am taking the parity as the first time I am taking the parity as 0, second time parity as 1. For every code word, data word, I am taking 2 parities, 0 and 1 as the parity. 2 and 0 and 1 parities are I am going to take. Like this, I am going to add these parity bits to my code word. Okay, here first of all, the sender and receiver thinks that is going to accept only even parity check. Even parity check means whenever I'm getting even number of ones inside that particular thing, even number of ones, in that case only I'm going to accept. That kind of code words only I'm going to accept. Even parity check. That means in the first position 0 0 0 and I'm adding 0. So it is the even. I do not have any ones in this particular thing. So it is the even parity check. This is the correct code word. In case of it is the 0 0 0 and 1. In this case, it is not the even parity. Why I have only one digit number in my code word, so it is not even, it is a odd. In this case, I am not going to this. I am rejecting this code word into my thing. Okay, in the third position, this is also odd, so I am not going to accept this code word also. Next, 1 1. Okay, good. This is the thing. Okay, I'm going to accept this particular thing. So my message is 0 0 1. I got the proper thing. Okay, next time 0 1 0. In this, it is not the even. So I'm rejecting. It is a even priority. Okay, in even parity is in. So I'm accepting. It is odd, rejecting. ESMA. Okay, next, like this I am going to check all the messages, and if I am taking the odd parity, in this case I am going to take the second one. That means 0 0 0 1, not the 0 all those 4 zeros. Okay, this is the even parity. If I am taking odd parity, in that case I am going to take only odd number of ones. If I found the odd number of ones, then only I am going to accept it as a code word. If it contains the even number of bits, in that case it is not going to accept that code word simply. Okay, you do understand block coding? If you have any doubts, please let me know. If you have any doubts, please let me know. I'm moving to the next coding technique, Hamming distance or Hamming coding. Hamming distance or Hamming codes. So can you explain once again block code? Okay. First of all, I have a message. Okay, I have a lengthy message that is 100 bits or 50 bits. I'm taking 50 bits of message. Okay, first of all, I will cut it down that message into small k bit blocks. Every block I am going to cut that particular 50 bit code is there now. I am going to there is a chance. I'm not saying that these are the I cannot say that I will get 100%. I cannot say that. But how you are going to utilize your technology whenever you are utilizing the data link layer, first of all, how it is going to check whether the particular message you have received this is the proper or not. Your data link layer is going to check in your mobile phone or that particular your laptop. It is going to check with the help of these kind of techniques. It is going to, if you are using if you are designing a new application, if you are using block coding in that particular thing, how you are going to utilize that particular. I am not saying that this if I use block coding, there are so many techniques are there. If it is, there are so many techniques, one after the another we are going to see each and every technique. But I'm not saying that this is if I use this particular thing, there may be a chance of guessing and I am going to utilize that particular thing. I'm not giving you 100% accurate. Okay, first I have 50 bytes of data. I will 50 bits of data. I will cut it down into 555 bits. Like that, I have 10 blocks in my message. 10 blocks I have message. Okay, every block has 5 bits. I am going to add one more bit to my block. One more bit to my block. Okay, that means these are the code words. One more bit, n equal to k plus r. That means for 5 plus 1, 6 bits I have in in blocks. That is our code words. In code words you have n bits. For each code word, what will happen? 2 to the in each data word, 2 to the power of 5. 2 to the 5 power of 5 data words will be generated. Yes or no? 2 to the power of 5 data words would be generated for n everything. That means if I have a one block, single block, it will have not more than 2 to the power of 5 data words. Yes or no? 5 bits I am taking as here 5 bits I am taking in this, either 1 0 0 0 0 or 1, like this. 2 to the power of not more than 2 to the power of 5 combination you are going to get. Okay, if I am adding one more bit to this, okay, 2 to the power of 6, not more than 2 to the power of 6 code words you are going to get. Okay, no, you are not going to get not more than 2 to the power of 6. Just I am going to remove that particular whatever the unused things from that particular thing. What are that unused things are? Nothing but your even and odd parity check. Here, if I am using even parity, I am thinking that I am considering only even parity. In that case, I am going to get this particular 1 0 0 0, all zeros. If I do not have the ones, number of ones in that particular code word must be in the even number. In that case, I am going to accept. If it is odd number, I am not going to accept. Otherwise, if I am first of all only I am thinking that okay, I will use in my application odd parity check. In that case, it is going to accept only even odd number of bits would be there in that particular code word. That code word is going to accept other code words. It is not going to accept at the my receiver end. It will directly discard that particular thing. Either it is going to guess that particular thing, and it is going to understand that particular message according to that mechanism. Okay, this is about block coding. Now next, Hamming distance are Hamming codes. Hamming distance, there was a particular scientist, R.W. Hamming. R.W. Hamming. He has developed this Hamming distance or Hamming codes in your computer networks. Most probably, we are going to use 7-bit Hamming code. 7-bit Hamming code. How it will work, we will see. Anyhow, you are going to this particular thing, but I will explain you in writing down and let you know. Give me a minute. 7-bit parity Hamming code, not parity code. 7-bit. Okay. Okay. Here 7 bits. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the 7-bit parity code. This is I have a okay. I have a 7-bit Hamming code. First of all, whenever I am taking 7-bit Hamming code, it is going to take 4 data bits, 3 parity bits, 3 parity bits, 4 data codes. That is 4 data bits. Okay. What are the, how it is going to understand this particular thing, that we are going to see. Whenever you are finding parity bits are nothing but 2 to the power of 0 to n, 0 to n, 0 to n. That means whenever you are finding 2 to the power of, control here, 2 to the power of 0 to n, that means 2 to the power of 0 position, 2 to the power of 1 position, 2 to the power of 4 position, 3 position, 4 position. In that particular places, you are going to add the parity bits. Parity d to the power of 0, that is the 1 position. So I am going to add the parity bit. Okay, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 1 is 2. Okay, I am going to add the parity bit 2. Okay, 2 to the power of 2. In that case, I am going to add the parity bit at 4th position. Okay. 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 2 to the power of 3. In this case, I am going to add at 8th position, but I do not have my data word code word, my Hamming code does not have the 8th bit. So I need not to worry. Okay. P1, P2, P3 in the first, second and fourth positions. Okay, all other bits are your data words, your D3, D3, D5, D6 and D7. These are the data words. Okay, center. These are the total words and your code words. Now after that, we are going to see one after then how you are going to check. Okay, first of all, in the P1, P2 and P3, I am going to add the parity bits. In others, I am going to add the particular thing. Here, for how to find out the P1, P2, P3, P3, P1, P1, P2 and P, it is P4, not P3, sorry. P4. How to find out the P4? Here, whenever I am using P1, parity bit 1, I am going to use D3, D5 and D5 and D7. Sorry. Okay, next D3, D6, D7. Next D5, D6 and D7. Okay. If I am sending a message 1, 0, 1, 1. In this case, I have to add the parity messages. According to that, D3, D5 and D7. D3 means my D3 1, 1 and D7. All are in the 3 positions I have ones. So I want to make it as even parity. In the P1 position, I am going to add the 1. Okay. Are you understanding now? Any doubt, please let me know. Yeah. Give me a minute. Okay. First of all, I did not have any information in this particular thing. I am first, my data word is 1011. Okay. D in D7 I have kept 1, D5 0, D this is D6, sorry, D6 0 and D5 1 and D3 also 1. Okay. Now I want to make a parity bit P1. How to make D3? I have to check D3, D5 and D7. D3, D5 and D7. 3 are 1 bits. So I need to add the even parity 1. Okay. P2. What I have to add? D3, D6 and D7. D3, D6 and D7. 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1, 0 and 1. I have to add again 0. So make it as even parity. Next, P4. D5, D6 and D7. Here also 0 to make it as even parity. Otherwise, what will happen if I add 1? It will convert as a odd parity. Why? It is the 3 numbers. I have 3 numbers in your code. So it is not going to add. It is going to add this. Like this, I have coded this information and I have forward to the other end. What other end will do? Again, he will check. My positions are the same. P1, P2, D3, P4, D5, D6, D7. Simply, he is going to check what is my P1. I have to check D3, D5, D7 is there. D3, D5 and D7. Okay, and P1. The combination of P1 plus D3, D5 and D7. If it is even parity, okay, good. I got the message properly. Done. Next, he will check the next also. P2. P2 0, D3 1, okay, D6 0, D7 1. 2 ones, 2 zeros. Okay, even parity. Good, correct. Next, D5, P4. P4 is 0, D6, D5, D6 and D7. 2 zeros, 2 ones. So even parity. Okay, done. It's correct. If he finds anything else in this particular thing, P4 1, D5 is 1 and D6 0, and here it is not even parity. Okay. So this message is not correct, irregular message, I need to ask the sender to resend, or I have to guess that particular thing, that with the help of your Hamming distance. Okay. In this, do you have any issue, ma? Any doubt? Do you want again to explain? You have to remember this P1, P2, P3. Most probably he will ask for 7-bit Hamming code only, not more than that particular thing. You have to check that when you are writing the examination, you are doing P1, P2 and P4, 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2. If you are increasing that particular thing, 2 to the power of 3 also you are going to add. Okay, D3, D5, D7, 3, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. You have to remember this thing, and you have to make the code word using this matrix. Okay, at the receiver end, they will also same thing, even parity or odd parity he is going to check, and he is going to add or remove the elements. He is going to find out the is there any error in that particular message or not. Okay, we'll see what is there in my PPT. Hamming distance is central concept in the coding for error control. The Hamming distance between the two words of the same size is number of differences between the corresponding bits. That means Hamming distance. How you are going to understand the Hamming distance? You are going to, first of all, this is the Hamming coding technique to error correction and error detection. How you are going to find out the Hamming distance? I have a 1 0 1 0. If the coding word is 1 1 0 1 0, in this case my Hamming distance is, minimum Hamming distance is 1. XOR operation, you are going to check the XOR operations of your these two data words. And what is the XOR operation of this particular thing? 1 is the XOR operation of these two words. So you are going to check that particular thing in your XOR operation. Number of ones is nothing but your Hamming distance. Number of ones, how many ones are there here? What is the resultant? Sorry. What is the resultant of this XOR operation? 0, 1, 0, 0. So the Hamming distance is nothing but, minimum Hamming distance is 1. Like this, there are so many number of characters would be there. According to that, you will have the number of minimum distance of that particular thing. You will see. The Hamming distance between the two words is the number of difference between corresponding bits. Number of difference. That means if the two difference are changed from one word to another word, in that case you are going to consider as the one correspond change in that particular thing. So it is considered as increment of 1. Like that you are going to increase. Here you see 0 0 0 XOR of 0 1 1 is the 0 1 1. Why? 2 ones is going to give two zeros. First, these two are the things. That means the distance, Hamming distance is 2. You better know about this particular thing. I need not to explain more, I think. Okay. Hamming distance of XOR operation of 10101 11110 is 3. Okay, let's find the Hamming distance between these pairs of the data. Okay, we have learned how Hamming code will be worked in the error correction and code generation and code checking in the sender and receiver end at the uh, data link layer. Okay. The minimum Hamming distance is the smallest Hamming distance between the possible pairs in a set of words. The same thing I have whatever I have discussed. The minimum distance, Hamming distance of this particular thing is 2. Why? All the Hamming distance between all the code words are 2 only. All the code words 0002 101, all the code words which I have taken in this particular distance The minimum Hamming distance is 2 only, not more than that particular thing. Okay, minimum Hamming distance. In this case, the minimum Hamming distance is 3. In the first code word, my Hamming distance is 3 characters has changed from its position. So 3. Here 3. The same thing. Here 4. 4. But my minimum Hamming distance is 3 only in this solution. To guarantee the distance of the obtuse errors in all the cases, the minimum Hamming distance in the block code must be d minimum is equal to s plus 1. Okay, if the guarantee the detection up to s errors, in the cases, in all the cases, the minimum Hamming distance is s plus 1. That is not more than, if here you say, see, here I am taking the errors. What are the errors? If I have sent 00000 message to receiver, how much he can modify that particular thing? Till the minimum distance plus 1, till the minimum distance plus 1 only, not more than that one. Till the minimum distance means 3 plus 1, till the minimum Hamming distance plus 1, 4 digits he can modify, not more than that particular. If he modified the 4th digit also, that is the parity code. I do not have any issue, so it is going to get the problem resolved. Okay, only 4 bits he can modify in that particular thing. Here in my computer networks, computer data communication, that there will be either it is a single bit or the bus error. There is the same thing for me. I have to either guess that particular thing, otherwise I have to ask the sender to retransmit my data to me. Okay, a coding scheme C is written as a C n gamma k with a separate expression of d minimum. For example, let's coding scheme is equal to 3 comma 2. D minimum is 2. To guarantee that particular detection of up to p errors, all the cases, the minimum Hamming distance in the block code must be d minimum plus p plus 1. That means p plus 1 p errors would occur. There may be a chance, there not more than that, but d minimum is equal to p plus 1. That many errors you are going to get. Okay, anything else ma in this Hamming code, Hamming distance? If you have any confusion, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, I'm going to activate quiz. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can ask through chat. If you want, I can activate your mics also, not a big deal. Done. Okay, 15th slide. Do you want to explain me? 15th slide. Wait a while. Yeah, what is the Hamming distance between these two slides? Is it clear now? 15th slide, this one now. I am going to do if the code word and two words, not code words and actual message. I am taking two words, 000 and 011. These are the two code words. If I want to find out the Hamming distance between, these two words, these two words, I have to do the XOR operation. XOR operation. XOR operation. What is XOR operation? If I will check one by one all the three bits, all the three. If there any change in if there any change in one bit to another bit, in that case only I am going to take it as the one. Otherwise 0 0. First bit 0, in the second word also be 0 bit only. Two bits are 0, exact match. I'm not going to do anything. I will add 0 at the resultant. Okay, next 0 1, there is a change in 0 to 1, so I will add 1 at the answer. Here your XR, after that 0 1 is there na, 1. Okay, and 0 1 again 0 1, so I am going to add the 1 at the position. Okay, I am going to find out the Hamming distance as 2. How many number of ones are there in my resultant? In the resultant, how many number of ones are there? 2 ones. So minimum the Hamming distance between 000 and 011 is 2. Okay, next example. Here I have a word 10101. Next word 11110. Okay, I am doing XR. First character or first bit is 1. This is also 1. Okay, no change, so I am keeping as 0. Next one 0 and 1, change only. In that case I am going to add 1. Okay, 1 1, no change, 0 0 1, change 1. Okay, 1 0, in this case I have changed, so I'm going to add 1. 0 1 0 1 1. Okay, this is the resultant of XOR operation. I'm going to get, there are 3 ones, so the minimum Hamming distance is 3 in your these two code words. With the help of these two code words, you're going to have three Hamming distance between these code words. Okay, ma'am. Please complete your quiz. Hamming distance and error control methods are related to block coding. No, block coding is the one technique. Your Hamming distance is one coding method, encoding and decoding method. That are the different protocol. This is the different protocol. Here, there was a problem. Every time in computer networks, what you will think first, you must have a problem, and you are going to find the you are going to have the different solutions for that particular thing. That means you have a problem. That is, what is the problem for you? Whenever you are receiving and sending the message, whenever you are receiving that message, I have to find out whether the received message is proper or not, clear message or not. I want to know. So I have more number of methods to find out this particular thing. For that purpose, we are going to learn this block coding and Hamming code, these kind of techniques to find out. Well, this is a contract between the sender and receiver. The both will follow the same contract. That means same bond paper to find out errors. And whenever you are creating a code word also, you use the same contract to generate code word and send that particular. Whenever the contract fails, you are going to get the issue. That means your sender and receiver must be on the same contract. That contracts are nothing but your black coding, your Hamming distance. Next sessions we are going to see linear block codes and So many encoder, decoding techniques are there that we are going to see in the next sessions. Yes, I am not saying that this is the accurate. You are, first of all, these are the techniques to find out the thing. After that, after hamming also, there are so many techniques has come into the picture to find out the errors. We are going to utilize that thing one after that. First of all, if you want to learn something, you what are the already in 1990s, 1970s we did not use internet also 1970s, but nowadays we are utilizing the mobile phones in our hands. Same thing, how this evolution come, the error detection and error detection things will happen in one by one, step by step. We are going to learn in the session how the error correction and error detections you are going to do, that we are learning one by one. Not the, I'm not saying not no one will say that hamming distance are the error coding. Even still some of the mechanisms are using this hamming distance as well as black coding. Some of the mechanism, they according to their availability, what is the their that means code word, and what is the message strength, and what is it compulsory to have more secure, according to that you can use. If it is a normal video or audio file, in that case, if you use these things, not a big deal. Yes, we are going to learn in the next sessions, ma. We are going to learn in the not like that, that means overcome that particular thing we are not going to have. We have individual thing, simply individual thing. We are not overcoming that simple thing. That means hamming code, we are not overcoming that particular. We are individual thing. According to that, whichever the best path you have to choose for your application. Whenever you are building your own application, you have to choose that particular application. It is not the overcoming and disadvantages of that particular thing someone has come, the not like that. We have individual independent coding decoding techniques to understand the things. Okay, I'm stopping the quiz. If you have completed, how many have you completed this one, we will see once again. Only 117 student have completed. And don't log in with other accounts and to help them to get attendance. Be clear. If you caught, if you are caught, you are going to lose your attendance. Two sessions attendance you are going to lose. This is the best option is there, which is the IP you are logged in. We are going to get. Here you can see, by seeing these three IP addresses, I can find out that they are in, say, I think they live nearby location, or they live in particular hostel or that kind of things. Why? All the IP addresses starting from logical addressing, starting from 106 200, but some changes, 182 181 and 171 simply the nearby location they are living, and they are using same broadband, or I think in that case. Okay, I'm stopping now. You can leave. You can attend another class also.